Supplements. Everyone seems to be taking some sort of supplement these days. But do they work? From multivitamins to protein powders and everything in between, they're more popular than ever before. It almost seems as if there isn't a symptom or a medical condition that you can name that doesn't have a supplement that you can take to treat it or prevent it. So, are supplements an easy way to make sure that you get the nutrition that you need? They are definitely easy and so convenient. But the truth is that if you're taking a handful of supplements each day, you're simply asking for trouble. Now, why do I say that? In the mid-1980s, scientists knew about the benefits of beta-carotene, which is an antioxidant, and we know that antioxidants are great for us, and also vitamin A. It was shown to reduce the proliferation of cancer cells. So what would happen if we combined those two? Because it seems like they would be brilliant for cancer prevention. So a clinical study called CARROT was started with people who had a very high risk of lung cancer. And the aim of CARROT was to reduce instances of cancer by using supplements, beta-carotene and vitamin A. Well, the results of CARROT were so disastrous that the trial had to be stopped almost 2 years early, because it was supposed to be, these supplements were supposed to be reducing cancers, but they weren't reducing them, and they were in fact actually increasing the number of cases. The researchers were horrified. Science hadn't yet worked out what the human body does with supplements. When you take too much of a particular type, you can often have problems as a result. Okay, but perhaps that carrot trial was just a bad combination. Maybe the two ingredients didn't work terribly well together. Well, no. A later trial used vitamin E and selenium supplements to see if they reduced prostate cancer. And again, the study had to be ended early because cancer rates increased. Now, I know what you're thinking. No, I am not saying that supplements give you cancer. I am not saying that. Okay? My point is that we all assume that supplements are safe. But when you take a pill with concentrated amounts of a vitamin or a nutrient, you don't know for sure what's going to happen. For example, if you overdose by accident on vitamin A, that can result in bone pain or swelling, vicious headaches, skin problems, all sorts of issues. If you happen to be pregnant, then if you overdose on vitamin A, birth defects can occur. Suppose you're taking several supplements. They probably have overlapping ingredients. Take a real life example. Perhaps you're taking an immune system booster, maybe something to improve your eyesight, something for your hair, your skin, and perhaps a multivitamin as well. Well, that means that you could easily be taking in huge doses of, for example, vitamin A, and that's a problem. When you take too many supplements, you could suffer from liver toxicity, nausea, bloating. But if you go to see your doctor, it's unlikely that they'll diagnose supplement overuse as the cause, because those symptoms could be, well, from lots of things. So even though we think that they're safe, nearly all supplements come with some level of risk. There is no guarantee of safety with supplements, and that includes some of the most popular pills on the market today. So, if there's no guarantee, well, what's really inside all these supplements? Not every country regulates the ingredients in supplements. In the US, for example, the FDA has admitted that they are completely overwhelmed. They cannot cope with the huge growth in supplements that do not meet standards. The FDA say that there are supplements on the market that contain ingredients that are unapproved. There are supplements that make misleading claims. They don't do what they say they're supposed to do. Some of them contain heavy metals. Many supplements are not tested for safety, and many of them are not tested to see if they actually work. Some supplements are more risky than others as well. Take fish oil, omega-3 supplements. Now, they're very popular, but it's really a very difficult process to preserve the goodness of the fatty acids and put that goodness into a capsule. It's difficult, and that means that it's expensive. Plus, if that fish oil is not properly preserved, it can become oxidized and potentially harmful. It's a bit like, cooking oil. If it's been used too often and it's old and stale and it smells horrible, it's the same sort of idea with fish oil. Blech. Something else to consider is that if you or a loved one have ever had a brush with cancer, you've probably been told to avoid heavily processed foods, things like junk food and anything that's really heavily processed. And you need to avoid those as much as possible, and that's good advice. Well, supplements are processed foods, aren't they? To make matters worse, the supplements industry has changed. It's now so big that it's just impossible to regulate properly. It used to be in the US, the supplements market was worth $4 billion a year, and there were around 4,000 unique products. Now it's worth more than $40 billion. And there are approximately 80,000 different products available for you to buy. And even the names have changed to make them sound more appealing. So some of them are called nutraceuticals or biohacking. And yet there's still huge demand for supplements. Pill use among every age group is at an all-time high in the US right now, and in many other countries too. If you're not sure, just go and take a look in your local chemist or pharmacy and see how much shelf space is devoted to supplements and protein powders. Now, by this stage, you might be thinking, supplements totally bad. No, they're not. They are definitely not. And some people absolutely need a supplement to cover a specific deficiency that could be caused by disease or perhaps by poor eating habits. Pregnant women and the elderly can also benefit from specific supplements, but you cannot assume that all supplements are safe. You shouldn't carry on taking them indefinitely. And you shouldn't take several at once because you don't know what the impact is. They are not a cure-all. They could be dangerous. Okay, is this just me having a rant, or what does the research show? Well, time and time and time again, research has shown that taking supplements does not give you the same benefits as eating the foods or plants themselves. Why is that? Well, it's often more difficult for the body to metabolize a vitamin or a nutrient on its own. You see, fresh fruit and vegetables contain a whole pile of different nutrients, and they all work together. But you don't get that same effect when you just take one vitamin and a supplement. The combined effect of all the nutrients working together in fresh whole foods gives you the best health benefits with the least amount of risk. The supplement makers just simply can't duplicate what Mother Nature does. And something else to consider is that many manufacturers spend far more of their budget on marketing than on product research and development. To give you an example, here's what often happens. There's a small, low-cost study done somewhere, and it links a certain plant ingredient to a potential health benefit. And the media reports on this finding, and then a supplement maker rushes off to manufacture a supplement using this relevant ingredient. And so they'll then claim, oh, it's science-backed. But it isn't really. And remember, there's a very low barrier of entry into the marketplace. If you're producing supplements, that you don't really have to do a great deal to be able to sell them. You know how when you buy prescription drugs, you know they've been through some sort of testing before they're allowed to be sold. But in the US and some other countries, supplements are classed as food. Now, that's good in that it makes them more affordable because the manufacturers don't have to undergo a whole pile of expensive tests and all, and get them certified and all the rest of it. So they are more affordable, which is great, but it also makes it more risky for us, the consumer. Now, what about big pharma? The huge pharmaceutical companies. Now, a lot of people distrust them. Having said that, modern medicine has brought us huge benefits, but sometimes it's not all good. You see, some people trust supplements more because they see them as natural and not made by the drug companies, but it's really ironic that the recent explosion in supplements has been driven by big pharma. About 3 out of 4 Americans now take some kind of supplement on a regular basis. And yeah, I mean, it seems like such an easy option. Instant health from a simple pill or a drink or a powder. Sounds a bit like the old snake oil salesman, doesn't it? So many people want to get from point A to point B as quickly as possible, and taking pills to do exactly that is marketed as being very chic. But taking untested pills, particularly several at once, can lead to serious health issues. So, what should you do? Well, there are basically 2 things that you should do. There is definitely a place for supplements. Supplements can absolutely help people who have a diagnosed medical condition or deficiency, but both prescription drugs and supplements come with side effects and risks. So the first thing that you need to do is to treat supplements with the same respect as you treat prescription medicine. And you should recognize that if you're a healthy adult, supplements offer more risks than benefits. Look, they might simply be a waste of money, which are just flushed through your system. Or they might accumulate and cause you actual harm. The second thing for you to do is to realize that you already know the secret to good health and longevity. There is no magic pill. Instead, and I know this isn't fancy, it isn't high-tech, it isn't glamorous, it isn't even chic, but eating lots of fresh fruit and vegetables with fish, nuts, seeds, getting a good night's sleep, and exercising will benefit you far, far more than any supplement can ever do. The research just keeps on showing it over and over and over again.